Hey everyone, so it's the start of my new vlogging week. It's actually Wednesday, but oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is Wednesday, but I didn't really get that much done for like Monday and Tuesday. There wasn't really that much to update you guys on. But I've yet again changed my direction, and if you're going into like an art course or something like that, don't be afraid about all these shifts. So if you watched my last video, you know that I went from doing architecture as my inspiration to then doing tools, rivets, nails as the inspiration for my artwork, just to relate it back to the whole World War II women working in factories and all that jazz, my dissertation topic. And I was kind of rolling with that for a little while. I did 4 watercolors of a screw, threw away 3 of them, kept 1, and I was just looking at it thinking I am going to be committed to an asylum if I have to fill up a whole sketchbook full of nails and screws. So got my mood board done over the weekend, and this was just me actually choosing, being really specific on what images I chose. I'll show you it in a second, but I actually realized that I didn't want to do a very utilitarian factory look. I want to do something fun and something that celebrates women's independence, kind of post-war period, and them just having fun and being frivolous and being cheeky and stuff. And at least I narrowed it down to kind of there. So I brought that mood board to to my fashion tutor, and then she kind of made me realize, look, I don't actually have to use the whole factory theme or the screws or the rivets. It's too broad. Yeah, the post-war period is what I want to do. I feel like I've been leading up to it this entire time, but I was so worried. I was trying to pull these other influences in to make it fit, and things just weren't fitting. So after we had like a critical framework seminar yesterday, which was all about, it was like 500 words on basically our intentions, our inspirations, how we got to the point we are now, why we're doing our project. I just realised that it wasn't as important for me to completely translate my dissertation into a collection. All I needed to say was that from my research, it's kind of led me to this post-war kind of period that I want to pursue, and that's all I needed to say. I didn't even need to do that whole hardcore factory stuff. I kind of did because I see myself as a bit of a tough girl. I did construction and would work till I left school, and I love tools and doing tough jobs and all that kind of stuff. And you guys know I did Game of Thrones and stuff. That was pretty tough. So I kind of wanted to play up that bit, but I'm going to pick what my heart says. And after having another tutorials, I realised I am sort of going down the right route now. It's week 6. Oh my god, my phone's going crazy. Let's stop that. And it's week 6, and thus far I haven't really done hardly any studio work that I actually have to show for, just because I did shift 3 times. But it is something, if you're in an artsy course or a fashion course, you will change your ideas, and you don't need to freak out about it. It's just a shift. I mean, even if it is a completely different idea or a different theme, don't worry about it. The most important thing is that you pick something that you like, because you're going to be working on it for the next year, and if you don't like it and if you're not inspired by it, then it's just not going to go very far. So show you guys what I've been up to. Oh my god, my phone's going crazy today. That's Kaha wondering where I am. So I've taken down my old inspirations. As you can see, they're in a pile here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pile that in a research file or in a sketchbook. Even though it's completely different to where I started, don't be afraid to show in your sketchbooks or in your research files that this is where I started, and then it led to this, and then it led to that. So don't be worried about it. Yes, to an extent it does waste a bit of time when you shift, but to be honest, I didn't really lose that much work because I didn't really have that much studio and practical work done anyway, so I didn't really lose out on anything. And now that my dissertation's done, I can spend the next 7 weeks or so just completely devoting myself to my studio practice, which is great. And now I'm on to this, which I'm showing you guys now. So this was my mood board that originally inspired me. It looks very simple, but it actually takes a really long time to put together a good mood board, because you need to get the feeling across and be really selective with your pictures. Hey guys, so my battery had the pleasure of going yesterday when I was in the middle of telling you guys what I was up to, so I'm going to continue where I left off. This is where I sort of stopped. I have my mood board. I don't have my trend board up there yet because I need to reprint that. But all I did yesterday really was these wraps. So they're just knitting yarns, but that I took from the storeroom over there. I chose to do some wraps just because I think when you're trying to choose a colour palette on like CAD or on Photoshop, it's hard to see without kind of seeing the colour in some kind of texture. So I just said I'd play around with some proportions, and this really was just for colour. These aren't yarns I'm going to be using or anything, just to see which combinations go together better. So for example, I think the green works with the tan really well, and I think the pink works with the grey really well. So I'm definitely going to be looking at some kind of stripes. As you can see, they're in my mood board, especially diagonal stripe. And these are just some basic silhouettes that I kind of saw cropping up a lot in my research from the 1940s. These aren't particularly shapes I'll be doing, but they're just like the basic silhouettes. So I've done a shirt silhouette, I've done some, can you see? Some trouser silhouettes, and they're just like the basic start for me to work from, and then hopefully put my own spin on it and make it a bit more contemporary. So I'm going to do just a plain tops one as well, and another one of these pages for swimwear. So that's what I've been doing. I'm heading to London tomorrow for my cousin's wedding. I'm hoping to get a few hours. I'm literally going to jump off the plane and get the fastest train to Shepherd's Bush and try and get a few hours on Goldhawk Road, which is a road with a lot of fabric shops in kind of the one area, and I really just want to do a bit of fabric sourcing while I'm in London to make the most of the trip. And because I'm kind of behind on, well, I feel like I'm behind on my studio practice, I thought it would be just a great way to make the weekend a little bit productive, just to go fabric sourcing. So that would be fun. I also need to order some fabric samples online this week. There's some websites that send you out like an envelope full of your chosen samples, like what's the one I need to go on today? Cloth House is a really good one. If I mention it in the vlog, I'll leave the link for it down below. And also I need to start looking at yarns as well for my knit, but at the moment today I've just been mapping out some like really basic shapes of my clothing, just to get like an idea and like a starting point, and just get some of my like ideas in my head down on a page, and then I can like work on making them nicer or making them more unique as I go along. Who is it? Who wants to be in my video?
Hey!
Hey Neil! I need to get as much sketching done as possible because it's really hard to start thinking of fabrics and thinking of toiling in the workshop and stuff like that when I haven't even got my basic shapes done yet. So I'm just playing around with basic ideas, basic sketches. A lot of them are still very authentic to the 1940s period, but later on I'll figure out how to make it more contemporary and what techniques and fabrics I'm going to use to make it just a little bit more modern. That's me, guys. I will see you after my weekend in London. The most paranoid thing I've ever done in public, even taking pictures for my blog and stuff, isn't this bad. But I've just got off the tube station at Shepherd's Bush, and I'm going to Goldhawk Road, and I'm going to bring you guys along to the fabric shops because there's like 10 fabric shops on that road apparently. And this is really quick. Like, I'm here for my cousin's wedding, like I told you guys, and I just got off the plane an hour or two ago, and I made my way from Gatwick Airport to Shepherd's Bush. So I've gotten a train and 2 tubes so far. So hopefully I'm going in the right direction. I'm following this guy's directions and I have no idea where I'm going, but we're going to try and get there. T-shirt, jeans and a Nike sort of day. So just found the first fabric shop, but it's more kind of African type of inspired textiles, which I'm not quite looking for. So I'm going to take a wander down here. I'll see a few places. Oh, there's a lot of fabric shops here. Okay, I'm going to have to keep my eye out. Sorry for looking so crap, guys. Obviously, I don't really wear makeup on an airplane. But hopefully we find something, go down here, and that it was worth the trip down. Sorry guys, I had the lighting on like the wrong setting, so everything probably looked really cool toned in the last video, but I fixed it now. And I'm just keeping an eye out for fabric shops. Oh, there's another one. So this is the kind of underground basement bit of the first fabric shop I've been to, but I haven't found a lot. I don't know, I'm looking to be inspired. I don't know, I'm kind of worried now. I don't know if I should have come to Shepherd's Bush because so far the shops have been kind of on the more affordable side, and I do want affordable fabrics, but I'm also willing to possibly like be looking for like slightly more expensive fabrics and fabrics that have a really nice quality. But I'm just worried all the stores are kind of going to be like this, so hopefully I'll find a gold mine somewhere down here. But this shop, I think I'm probably only going to get about 3 or 4 samples. These ones are kind of nice. I like, this is the sort of shine I'm looking for, because I think it'll just catch the light nicely. I got my first few fabric swatches. I just stapled them to this card thing, so obviously it's easy to keep track of where you got them, and most stores sort of should have them on the table. But I got these samples for free, obviously, and Friday is a really good day to go on Shepherd's Bush, because apparently some of the stores only take students on Friday. I'm just looking at some really thin neoprenes in the store, but I do want to do maybe at least one neoprene piece if it fits, because I like the bulk it gives, but I hate the way that people use neoprene as an excuse to be shit at sewing. It wrecks my head, because obviously you don't have to finish the fabric, it doesn't unravel, but then people just get lazy and they don't hem their fabric, or they don't finish it off properly, and that really bothers me about people that use faux leather and neoprene. Don't know where that rant came from. Successful so far. I've got some more samples inside the bags, but I'm starting to kind of know what I'm looking for, and I found a few hidden gems, so I'm pretty happy. It's a lovely evening on Gold Hawk Road. I think I spent about 2 hours here, but didn't get a lot of what I was looking for, but I did get a good few samples. I even bought some fabric just to kind of have, because some of the places didn't give samples. I definitely recommend going and starting with the cheap shops first, because then you can kind of see what they offer before you go to the expensive shops and pay a ton of money for fabric that you could have gotten in a cheaper shop. So it was good just to see what was kind of available, and now I know what kind of fabric I need to spend my money on the most. So I hope you found it insightful, guys. Hey guys, this is the third part of the vlog to round up the kind of second installment of these vlogs that I'm doing, and I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in weeks. I feel like it's been nearly 2 or 3 weeks now since I've gotten back from London. I know in my last clip I took you fabric shopping with me, but I had I had like a week 8 review. I had my final dissertation draft hand in over the last kind of week or so, so a lot of that has been keeping me really busy, and I haven't had a chance to vlog, or else the studio's been really busy, or else I haven't had my battery charged. So now I have my battery charged, I'm going to finish up this installment now and also start the next one today, because I kind of want to update you guys on where I've been since the last installment. I cannot remember whether I had showed you my new kind of wall and that I was doing the post-war era now instead for my third shift in direction, and now I feel like I'm really doing something that I love. So let's get straight into it. I've taken some things down from my space just because I don't want to show you them until the next vlog. So I've been doing a good bit of like experimentation, I would say, over the last few weeks, but I'll get into that in the next vlog. But for today, I'll sort of just update you on what I've done for the last like few weeks. So I got these images, I've just kind of put them up, but I just found them really inspiring because the stripe has become really important in my work, and I just love how gorgeous these images are. They're sort of from like architecture, and just, I don't know, I just think they're beautiful. And this kind of woman, this like strong, independent but like fun-loving type vibe is like really what I'm going for in terms of like the woman that I envision kind of in the collection. So as usual, I start with my to-do list for this week. So as you can see, a lot of you guys probably, because I've skipped 1 or 2 since I vlogged last, I keep them all in here. I've been keeping all these loose sheets with my work because some tutors do like to see kind of you documenting your kind of progress and your timekeeping and stuff like that. So I only have about 3 of these that I've kept because I threw the rest away, but just a heads up for you guys, don't throw them away, keep them and put them in a little pocket in your sketchbook or something like that, or in your research file. And yeah, so as you guys probably saw last time, I did my mood board, which helped me really kind of pinpoint the look that I wanted, because I was really kind of choosing these pictures from my heart, whereas before I was trying to incorporate that utility look, I was trying to incorporate like the factory girl look, and it just really wasn't what I wanted to do, but I still loved the kind of androgynous trouser things. That's what I've done. I've also kind of added a little more like an dark like forest green and an aubergine to see what that looks like as well, because just to give it like a bit of a punch. I don't know, it's a bit more Marc Jacobs kind of inspired stripe, so I think that will work really well once it's turned diagonal. I've been trying to get as many kind of ways I can do diagonal stripe and investigate that as much as I can. So these are some knit samples that I just did really quickly to test some yarns. They're not really colours that I'm using or anything. Well, they are similar colours, but they're not exactly the colours that I wanted to do. So this was an Intarsia sample. It's just a knit technique that you do on a single bed. It's quite difficult because you need to have a separate ball of yarn for every stripe. So this tiny little sample had like 5 balls of yarn, and you have to wrap them over each other, and it just becomes one big tangly mess, which is why the sample looks so bad, because I can only get that far before it all kind of falling to bits. I have another little kind of inspiration picture, again, kind of a fun one. It's very much kind of girls just want to have fun in my theme, you know, it's kind of like, oh, independent woman and wearing a trouser and all that kind of thing, and I really, really love it. So I just love these little images to kind of keep the vibe sort of going. And yeah, these are my other knit samples. These are just plain stripe because I'm planning on turning my stripe so it becomes diagonal, and I was just playing with proportion there, different thicknesses of stripe, but mainly this was for actually testing the yarn. This is mercerized cotton, so it has a bit of a luster. It's not as matte as just regular cotton. It is phasing out just because of the chemicals and the environment and stuff like that, but because I'm using kind of quite luster, I want to use a lot of like silk satins and kind of viscose silk satins, so I want to get like a really like lustrous finish to the collection. So because I want to incorporate 1 or 2 knitwear garments, I wanted to pick a yarn that had, you know, that wasn't very matte, that had a bit of a lustrous sort of sheen to it. So it has a bit of that like pearlescent look to it. So I've ordered my yarns from Copley and Marshall. Copley and Marshall do mercerized cotton still. It's quite expensive. It's about, oh god, what is it? It's like £30 a kilo. And that's 2 cones, that's 2 500-gram cones, and that's the minimum you can get of any colour. So even if you need like a little bit, you still have to order 2 cones. And then it's £28 for postage and packing. But luckily I was able to split that because 2 other people, like again, it's really important to talk to other people and ask around to anyone else that's in your course if they're ordering yarns, because then you can just split postage and packing. So really I only paid about £10 towards postage and packing, so that was good. Actually, you know what, I'm going to keep costing and maybe start off the next vlog with that, because obviously budgeting and costs are a massive part of any textiles course, which makes it very different to, I guess, a regular course where you don't really have like hidden fees and stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been at since I've talked to you last. It's fun because this week and last week I've been really starting to make stuff and I don't know, get the ball rolling. I feel like now that my dissertation is out of the way and I got my feedback for that, they're not allowed to tell you your mark, but they kind of do give you like, you know, a heads up of where you're at, and I'm really happy. I think my dissertation is the first, so that's going to be printed out really soon, and that's just out of the way. So if you're thinking about getting your dissertation over with at the very start of first semester, even before you go back to college, do it because it's so worth it. I started my research during the summer because Cathal was in university during the summer repeating something, so I came in like 1 or 2 days a week and started just reading some books in the library, and it just took so much time. Even though I only had a few books, I mean, I think I only had all about 10 or 11 books in my whole bibliography, so if you can get 5 of those over with in the summer and like scan the pages that you want and highlight the points that are relevant, you think that might be relevant to your dissertation, that's a really good start. And it will just, oh my god guys, vloggers must have absolute arms of like steel, because my arm is like dead already. Anyway, yeah, so I would just say like get it over with as soon as you can. Yes, it meant that I started my studio practice a bit later than everyone, but I felt like I needed that time to really figure out what I wanted to do anyway, and now that my dissertation's out of the way, I have that stress out of my way, and I feel like I can just enjoy studio practice. So really, if you want it bad enough, if you really want to make the year as less stressful for yourself and the most enjoyable, I would definitely recommend getting a start on your dissertation as early as possible, because I did mine early. I got 2 drafts instead of just 1 draft, and that's kind of what got me the marks that I wanted, because I did really want it first. And I'm one of those students, I work really hard and I'll stay here all day long and all night long, and I'll always be like on the cusp of a first, and I never get a first. So I'm really happy that the work paid off for me this time, and hopefully I'm hoping in my studio practice the same will come. Even though I am feeling a little bit behind, I feel like I can really steam ahead and produce some good work now, so hopefully I can turn it around and kind of up my marks a wee bit in studio practice. So that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoy this other vlog. I told you I would keep them up, and I'm very confident that I will keep doing them. And of course, like this video if you did, and subscribe if you want to see the previous installment, which I will put somewhere at the end of the video as well, and if you want to catch the next installments. I will see you in my next video, guys. Peace. I'm in 3rd year. I'm in a final year of fashion, textiles and design at University of Ulster Belfast, and I have a collection to make.